ZZ109FM. This is Elsie Jenkins. Lord have mercy. It's a beautiful November going into December. United States of America. The world. Let's talk about the United States of America. It's a blessing to be on this planet. It's a blessing to be alive. And I think we have to hold ourselves accountable for the things that people are doing to us. I'm going to make this show simple and straight to the point. If you ever go to the kitchen and think about back in the day when you looked in the kitchen, every kitchen had a spice rack on it. Not just any old spice rack. It's a spice rack with different items on it that come from the earth, Mother Earth. It wasn't till recently till I realized that those things on that spice rack helped relieve many of the problems and symptoms that you may have in your life. You didn't necessarily need a doctor to help you. That spice rack had everything on it to sustain your pains, your woes, and your worries from Mother Earth. Now, today we look around and we see cancer is everywhere. Cancer here, cancer there. Cancer is everywhere. And when you go back and you look at some of the people out there like Dr. Sebi, he felt that he could cure anything. Cancer could be cured. And he wasn't using chemotherapy. No, he wasn't using chemotherapy. He was using sources from Mother Earth. But you see, Mother Earth doesn't provide profit. Not like the chemotherapy. And that's why I'm here today. To give you a little knowledge on exactly how much is being taken from us. You know, there's young people today that have cancers in the children's hospitals. And there's middle-aged people in their 20s, 30s, 40s. And you have your older people, 50s, 60s, 70s, and beyond. But it seems if you don't go get the knowledge you need, you're going to be led down a pathway. I repeat what I just said. If you don't get the knowledge you need to have when you step into the realm of this window of chemotherapy, you're not going to be able to protect yourself, defend your ideas on how to help yourself if you have to deal with cancer and chemotherapy. Let's take a quick look, because I was amazed at the information that I saw. Amazed. It's very simple. The information is very simple. Every year, the global chemotherapy market generates $10 billion. I'm going to repeat that. $10 billion or more per year. You know, if you think about it, when you got a good thing going, why would you mess up a good thing? Why would you mess it up? People are rushing in based on recommendations. I know people recently experienced someone going through this process. And I know for sure this one particular person wasn't offered any earthly remedies to assist in destroying the cancer, like soursop, for instance. None of those things out there, oil of oregano, these powerful agents, many that you find on the spice rack, none of these things were offered. And I'll tell you why. Because oil of oregano is only $11 a bottle. Soursop, $11 a bottle. Not very, very, very profitable. And I see people trusting this medical system we have out here, trusting the doctors. I see husbands and spouses and single people without anyone to help them sit in these chairs and get these IVs every day, trusting the system, trusting the doctors that lead them to this pathway of $1 billion industry. Don't offer them any other alternatives. Radiation after that, if that doesn't work. But no lesser alternatives from the Mother Earth. $10 billion with a B. Why would a doctor turn that away? I make the money now. By the time anyone comes to realize what has happened, it is too late. 4 years have went by and $80 billion have been made. And I've got my cut. Meanwhile, while they have their cut of the $1 billion that's out there, this is what is happening to you. This is what is happening to you, to your loved one, to your family member. This is what is happening to you. Everyone knows there's side effects to chemotherapy. You got fatigue, nausea, vomiting, hair loss, nerve damage, diarrhea, mouth sores. But what I think is very important to understand outside of everything I just mentioned is the chemo brain. And let me explain that to you if you don't know what chemo brain is. Your mind and your memory cells become scrambled. It's almost like a computer when you need to defragment the computer. The computer doesn't work as fast and efficient as it can work, so you defrag it. If anybody knows about computer technology talk. But your mind, after the 6th and 7th exposure to the chemotherapy, comes into this window where you get the chemo brain. And this is when the memory is affected. Now, I know someone whose memory was affected to the point where she didn't remember her first marriage. I'm going to repeat that. She has no knowledge and memory of her first marriage. Many other important life events erased from the process of the chemotherapy. So when we look at the total situation, is this where we want to be? Is this where we want to be? Having no knowledge of so much time and energy and effort put in life. What are we when we are sitting there at the edge of the bed when this process is complete? We have some ability to communicate, but it's not on a second grade level. And what needs to be communicated to before you choose to do chemotherapy is to get all of your business in order. Wills, everything. Everything must be in order. You must have all your passwords and information that someone needs to have to take care of your business handed over before you even start the process of chemotherapy. If you get the chemo brain, your knowledge of the passwords and information and even your past can be erased. It is sad to see someone sitting at the edge of their bed, not knowing who they are, not knowing the past memories in their lifetime. But they're just sitting there, patiently looking forward. It's sad. It's sad to know that these people that they don't lure you in. They provide their expertise in a way that is getting you in a comfort zone of confidence that they understand what's best for you. But in the end, the doctor's nowhere around. The patient is laying in a fetal position in the bed, sleeping. And whoever is left here on planet Earth has to bathe them, feed them, dress them, and care for them. We talk about the vows or for worse. And we don't realize what the or for worse encompasses. Chemo brain will take you into a mode to where you are fussing and cussing and acting out, not cooperating, not of your normal nature. It's a sad process that someone is getting rich over. And many people succumb from this process. It's amazing because at the hospital, um, who was there to greet us was a hospice doctor. Not a doctor to come and say, well, these are the things we're going to do to try to save this person's life. It was a hospice doctor asking, are you ready? Are you in need of my services, our hospice services? We just got to the hospital. It wasn't even 24 hours, and we're talking about hospice. Is it because you got your 7 chemotherapy sessions that it's part of the billion-dollar industry that's already received, and you don't need us anymore? On to the next patient. It's sad. It's sad that people trust so much in this country. We trust the government. We trust the banks. We trust the hospitals. And we trust the doctors. The hospital we went into said the patient couldn't get out the bed and couldn't go to the bathroom. Fast forward 18 hours later, they said that the patient still couldn't get out of the bed and go to the bathroom. Couldn't get out of the bed for any reason. 18 hours later. Eventually, we didn't listen to them. And we allowed that person to use the restroom. This entire system is a shameful one. And if you ever get a chance, walk into one of those buildings where people are hooked up to the chemotherapy bags and witness the sadness in the room. It's a shame that human beings take advantage of other human beings. Greed doesn't care. So I've communicated to you, young people, in between people, and old people. If you don't have cancer, you need to change your diet. You need to start researching the herbs on the planet that fight cancer cells. And if you happen to have overlooked that opportunity to find these things that keep your body balanced and you have cancer, don't be so quick to go and run and get the chemotherapy. Go to the center yourself and stand in that room and observe what's going on with those people in there that trusted the hospital, that trusted the doctor, that trusted the system. Look at some of those people in there. Some of them are lucky to have a spouse or a family member, but many of them are in there by themselves, had to drive themselves there to get that treatment and then get back in their car and drive home. And who knows what kind of condition after such a treatment. I saw some of the treatments take this person down to the point where they just wanted to ball up into a fetal position. And you expect this person to drive home. If you're a doctor out there and you're in this chemotherapy billion-dollar industry, you ought to be ashamed of yourself and that beautiful house that you live in and all the luxuries that you've received by sticking people in that chemotherapy room. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. You ought to be ashamed of yourself giving the order to your nurses in the hospital to not allow the patient to use the restroom. They told this patient, just shit in the bed. I'll clean it up. Is this how you want to be treated? If you have to be receiving chemo and you find you have to go to the hospital, is this how you, listener, want to be treated? Just shit in the bed. ZZ109FM, this is Elsie Jenkins, and this is not a game. This is a billion-dollar industry because people are trusting the doctors, trusting the hospitals, trusting the system. Personally, if I come down with some type of a cancer, I'm going to use any alternative out there to assist me and prayer. But after seeing what they did to my family member, it'll be a cold day in hell before I sit there and let them stick me 7 times for 7 chemotherapy treatments. Eventually for the final one to give me chemo brain and I don't remember who the hell I am. And then when you get so weak that you can't stand up, family members feel like they need to get you to the hospital. But when they get you to the hospital, the doctor puts in the order that you can't get out the bed. Pee in the tube or shit in the bed are your only choices. This is not the way you need to end your life when you live in a country that doesn't want to take care of you and the government full of people getting paid for the last month and a half don't want to take care of the average person that is struggling to make it in this expensive country. And you done either served your military, you served your city, you served whatever the hell you done served, but you done did what you had to do on this planet to be a positive factor. And this is where you end up. Somewhere in a hospital where they tell you to pee in a tube and shit in the bed. We deserve better. And the icing on the cake is it wouldn't be a big deal if it wasn't a $20 billion industry per year. ZZ109FM, this is Elsie Jenkins. If you ain't learned nothing from this broadcast, then you go straight to your doctor and go straight to your chemotherapy building and let them stick your ass 7 times. And we'll see where that takes you, since you're so trusting of your doctor. It's a beautiful November. It's a blessing to be alive. And if you are healthy, stay that way. ZZ109FM. This is Elsie Jenkins. Take care.